Hello guys, it's Simshire. Today we are going through the rules of my new legacy challenge. I have made this new one based off of the A to Z legacy challenges from before, and then I think the OG legacy challenge. So I think that's what I've been referencing the most. If I've missed one, comment down below and I'll update this to reflect that. But I just had this like crest made from like AI generation and based off of my prompt. So it says A to Z, one letter at a time. Okay, and then this is called the Founder's Legacy. I want you guys to, if you guys want to join me, I want you guys to start off completely blank. Nobody is existing in towns or any of the worlds except for your sim. So you would delete absolutely everything, but you can still have the townies live. You can still have the townies there, but they aren't living in town. Everybody's evicted, wow, I can't speak. Evicted except for your sim. Okay, does that make sense? And then I've put a couple of links here. We'll go through them last because it'll make more sense once I go back through it. And then you would start off with up to $1,000 or simoleons. But I am not sure if that's like a good enough amount for you guys because I've never actually fully done a legacy challenge. So you can up that or decrease it, do whatever you want. That's what I've noted here, do whatever you want. You can follow this as closely or as loosely as possible. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. And then in this challenge, I have it that in each generation, you have to build at least 2 lots because obviously there's nothing in any of the world. So you have to keep building up the town to make a name for yourself, if that makes sense, hence the founder name. Okay. So in the first lot has to be, so obviously one of them would be your residential lot, but the other one would be a community lot. But for the first generation, it has to be a museum, and that's like the main, I don't know, feature of this legacy. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're building up a foundation and like life. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying. Okay. And then the alphabet system is just as it sounds, A to Z. You start from A to Z. Okay. Your first heir. I keep messing up how to say that. Heir? I don't know. Comment down below how you say that. I don't know. But you start from A, and I've actually already made my first sim. If you missed that, I'll put that up above, but we'll show her at the end. So you start from A and then you go all the way to Z if you want to commit that far. Okay. And then you can have the theme of their like whole lifestyle also tied to that letter or the actual meaning of the name. So I have a couple examples. So I have like B for barista, and then they would own a bakery, or they have a book club, you know what I mean? And then let's see, like I used this in my other video. If your sim's name's Apple, they can have an apple farm, like stuff like that. That makes it like more connected and more like fun to try to keep everything like interconnected a little. And then for this is, I have a task list for the generation. So this is what you would start off with, obviously. Once you've built up your whole thing and you have everything going on, your next heir has to be starting with the next letter. You have to complete 1 aspiration or max out a career. This is quite loose. I don't really care. I was just adding rules to add rules. So if anybody has more suggestions down below, have at it. I would love to get your all's feedback. But this is what I have so far: 1 aspiration or 1 career. And then you can also, I guess, since life and death, if you guys have that, they have the whole like life stages and like the life goal thing like that. And if you max it out, you can like rebirth. So we can have something like that here as well. You have to reach the rebirth stage to go to the next generation, if that makes sense. And then once again, I'm just stating you can tie the heir's personality to their letter. And then you have to leave a personal mark on the town, like a holiday, mural, journal, statue, letter, trophies, pictures, paintings, stuff like that. You have to leave your mark like you've been there to make it known that you were part of the town's history. And that is why we have the museum. Okay, each generation must complete 1 full Sims collection, like the My Sims trophies, the alien like collection constellation picture, stuff like that. You have to complete one collection, and that would become a piece of your portion of the museum, if that makes sense. And then once again down here, I've said you have to do 2 lots per generation. You can do more. I would probably do more, because if you only do 2 per generation, it's going to take you a very long time to fill up the whole town, because you're starting from 1 or 0. So I recommend the residential lot for your household, and then a community lot based off of your hair's letter. Like I said up above, I did a couple examples, but the first one, like I said, it has to be the museum, because that's what's starting off the whole thing. And then for town growth, you have to add at least 1 new household every generation, just to fill out your town a little more. You can move in townies if you want them back into your town, or you can add your own. I'm probably going to be adding my own. And you can give them backstories, build them a home as well, so that could be like an extra little piece there, so you don't have to build so many places. You can build them yourself, or you can take them off the gallery. I'm probably gonna build my own, just so I can have, like, this is like an ultimate legacy save file, if that makes sense. You're starting completely from scratch, so I'm probably gonna build my whole save file, hopefully, unless you guys want to contribute, then we can talk. Okay. And then for the museum, just add stuff relating to your sim, and then obviously you want portraits, journals, whatever you've done over that legacy in the museum, and anything that's like key to them, you want that to be part of their like portion into the museum as well. And then I've added in that there has to be a town vault, okay? So, and that's probably, she's gonna start the town vault. So the museum has a town vault for meaningful donations, okay? So every heir must donate at least 1 item of significance to them every generation, and then you can only withdraw from the vault once per generation if you have to, and that is up to 10,000 simoleons. I feel like that's quite a bit of money, so you can lessen that or increase that, whatever you want, but I set it to 10,000 because I felt like that was a good amount of money to do something with. And then it should be used thoughtfully to support the town, or you could just, like, you know, sneak it and it doesn't go towards the town. You could break into it if you want. There might be some penalties if you decide to break into the town vault. But anyway, some optional rules. This isn't very, like, it's not very, I don't know what you want to call this, but it's not very in-depth right here. I've just noted again that you can have everything matched to your letter. And then I've added this, town events. I kind of want to flesh out my calendar, because I usually just stick with the default ones we got from the original pack of seasons. So I've added a bunch, I've noted a bunch of holidays and events that could be fun to up the ante of your town. So like, you can go full alien invasion disaster style, or wholesome holiday, Founders Day, Memorial Day, stuff like that. And then obviously once you reach Z, you can keep going if you really want to. And then just an end-all checklist. Hair's name starts with the correct letter, complete at least 1 aspiration or max out a career, and then we said we can add in, you can reach that rebirth stage as well. That can be something. And then tie your heir's personality and traits to their letter and name. And then you can leave them personal mark on the town. So you have to make a holiday or something. You have to contribute, okay? Build 1 residential, 1 community lot, complete 1 collection. And then you obviously have to update the museum with all of your new contributions and of things you've done over the generation. And then add at least 1 new household with a backstory to your town. And if you want, you can add all the lore and connections that you want. And then if you have, I've added this in because there is like journal stuff you can add with like life and death. So you can have a family journal and pass it down through the generation and note things that's gone down, if that makes sense. And then this is again just restating, add stuff to the museum and the photo walls and stuff like that. And then memorize the Sims in the graveyard, because someone's eventually probably going to make a graveyard. So we want to remember all the Sims that have passed. Okay. And then for the review, for the next generation, review how much money you want to give to your heir. I keep messing it up. I don't know how to say it, guys. Help me out. And you can start with $1,000 like you did, or you can give them a chosen amount of $0. But yeah, you can just choose whatever. You can give them as much as you want or as little, doesn't matter. And then I just noted some lot examples down here if you need some help: bookstore, bakery, campground, stuff like that. And then this is my custom holiday list. So I have a couple. So Artisan Day, Beach Bash, Civic Pride, Dance Festival, Education Expos, you have classes and stuff, looking at like the new expansion packs and stuff like that. I feel like I don't really do a lot of the holidays that I should, so I've added a bunch of optional ones. And if you know, I've done A to Z because I thought that was funny. But yeah, you could add way more holidays and stuff. These are just some. I was like, oh, this could be fun if you added it into the game. And what I do need, I don't think I did it, because I used the AI to help me make all these holidays and events a bit faster. So right now, F is Feast of Friends. This could be Founders Day instead. So this could be like a national remember the whole generation day instead of Feast of Friends. But yeah, that's basically the whole challenge. And if I've confused anybody, ask away down below. Help me out to like expand this in any way that you guys want. I tried my best. This is my first time, so don't come at me too hard, okay? But we can go through the what did I do? These links I had up here. So the first link I have is Seriously Blank save file on CurseForge, so we can just take a look at that. And this is just the fully blank world unlocked, and you would just download that and put it into your save files. If you guys have any questions about that, I can answer them down in comments, and I can make a separate video if you guys need help with that if you do end up wanting to do this. But this is just a save file. You just insert it into your files, okay? And then the next one I have is the Sims Dynasty tree, and that is just having a handy like family tree that you can connect on your own, but obviously you have the in-game one as well. But sometimes it's a little funky, and if you want to keep track of it outside of the game, this is something I found, and I hope it's fine. But you can just add, and they do have like paid subscriptions and stuff, but I'm using the free one, and it just limits what you can add. But I've added most of the things I wanted to do, so I'm not too pressed about the free version. So you can add a picture, and this is my sim, so you guys get a sneak peek. You can add the picture, and then their life state, and biography, date of birth, place of birth, and then their traits, aspiration, and career. And that is what I added. And then obviously once you get more, you'll have a whole family tree going on. And then the last link I had is a template, and this is what I'm going to use for the videos. So Miss Lollipop's template is a character like profile sheet, and it looks like this. It's super cool. It looks like a Kaz. It reminds me of the Kaz background, you know what I mean? It's very Sims, okay? So this is what mine looks like. I've changed it up and updated it already. So we can just go through her. This is our Sims Kaz, if you haven't seen it, and I noted it before, but it'll be in the description as well of the video if you guys want to watch the vid. So this is Amara Beaumont, and she's gonna be born on April 1st, because wait, is it April? Well, spring. She's gonna be born in spring because that's the season I'm starting to save in. And she is a collector painter, and she's gonna be living in Willow Creek is the town I've chosen. So I said again, loves collecting and painting. Her trait is the creative, what is this? Art lover and ambitious. And she is the curator aspiration, and that's just like collector of things and stuff like that. This one I just like threw a blurb down here. This doesn't really mean anything. She's the founder of the Beaumont Museum, which is what we are going to call eventual museum. And yeah, and these are some of her outfits. I think she's really cute. I love this. It's so cute. But I'll just use this as reference during gameplay if anybody wants to see our character sheet, and I'll just pop it up in the video every once in a while. But yeah, that's why I made this. I just thought it was cute. But yeah, that's all I had for you guys today, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And again, if you have any suggestions or feedback about this, please help me out in the comments. But I hope to see you guys next time.